you want to deepen and strengthen your relationship with God? Do you want a better understanding of the Bible? Then join us for the next few minutes as we study God's Word together on the Christ-Centered Woman's Podcast with your host, Jessica Hale. Hello, and welcome back to the Christ-Centered Woman's Podcast. If my voice sounds a little different today, it's because I'm still recovering from a pretty hard case of the flu that I've had this week. And usually I give you a deep dive Bible study or some sort of mental health insight, but today I just have a reflection. We just finished our rest of the story episode on Elijah, and we talked about how he ran into the desert and told God, "It is enough." He was done. And do you remember what God gave him first? He recognized his need for recovery. He gave him a nap and a snack. And sometimes, like I found out this week, being sick is God's way of enforcing the stop that we refuse to take ourselves. If you're like me, you hate being sidelined. You feel unproductive. But, like in our story, the rest of the story, it tells us that our value is not just in our output, but our value is found in our loving God. God is just as much the God of your sickbed as he is the God of your mountaintop. I'm also reminded in the Old Testament in Psalm 23 verse 2, when it says, God leads us beside still waters. The word for still is manuka. It doesn't just mean no noise. It means a resting place or a settled peace. Even Jesus says, "Come to me and I will give you rest," in Matthew 11 verse 28. He is our manuka. He is the place where our souls finally get to stop traveling and just be. So if you're stuck in bed like me or just stuck in a stressful week, remember, you don't have to create peace and rest. You just have to trust in the one who is peace and rest. And I also want to say thank you to all of our listeners for sharing and subscribing to this podcast because it is so encouraging. I was looking the other day and we've added several new countries that are listening to this podcast. So thank you for your encouragement and be well. And I will talk to you again very, very soon. Thank you for listening and studying with me today. I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day. And remember, in all that you do, keep Christ-centered.